Hi guys and welcome to Thrustzone.com. This is Mohit Soni, and yet again there's a Tata Nexon on our YouTube channel. Why? Because it's been a very long time that we've spent a lot of time with the Nexon. As you can see, this is a long-term review of the car. We've spent a couple of months with this car, and what have we understood about this car is something that is revealing at the same time. A lot of our aspects that we've learned for the Nexon has been solidified, because a week or 2 weeks at max is what we could get with the cars, and it tells us a good things about car. But this long-term reviews sort of reinforce what we think about the car and how it ends up being for a longer period of time. Of course, long-term reviews are usually above 6 months and above, but these couple of months have also given us enough insight of how the Tata Nexon fares in this heavily crowded segment, because there is so many options right now. There is the new Skoda Kaila coming in. There's the Kia Sonet, the Kia Syros, the Hyundai Venue, the Maruti Brezza. Toyota has the Tazor that has come in last year, and there is the Renault Kiger, the Nissan Magnite, and the Mahindra 3XO. So there's been a lot of action, and I think it is the right time to understand the Nexon even better. So we are happy to spend a couple of months with it to tell you more about it, and we're here to tell you mostly, if I were to give you a sneak peek of the review coming ahead, is that it reinforces a lot of things that we knew about this car, that we've told you about this car, continue to impress us, while there are certain new things that we've discovered we would like to tell you. Just giving you a round of the car on the outside. You can see this sunset orange paint looking fantastic. We really love the new grille. A lot of time my colleague spent driving this car in the night, and he is very happy with the illumination and spread of this car. It has never been a problem whatsoever. So these lights have turned out to be absolutely brilliant, and he also parks just like me in very tight situations, and we both can report that the 360 camera and parking sensors at the front, which is not that easily available, makes the Nexon so much more easier to live with on a daily basis in terms of parking. Mumbai can be tight within the place you stay and once you go outside as well. So this has been an absolute joy to have as well. The mirrors are big enough. You've got lane watch on these mirrors, cameras, so when you're changing lanes you can see that as well. The side profile remains ever classic with the kind of design that it has, and you've got reversing camera, reversing sensors, very good visibility from the back. And just to give you an idea of the boot, a very huge boot, almost 400 liters, showcases that this is a lot of space that is on offer. At the back, it's where the Nexon also truly impresses. We're really happy that we can have 3 people sit here all the time in good comfort, and this is something that has made us realize that we do get some bigger cars to test drive, and they're strictly 4-seaters. We've really enjoyed this car because it's a 3-seater. You can get more people inside and go places. You've got your charging points and AC vents that people have been very happy with. The sunroof also lends good light inside the cabin, but the glass area is also big enough at all sides to give in that light. You've got your hook here and here as well to hang any hooks. You've got an armrest when nobody's here in between, and the cup and can holders are quite big. Of course, this doesn't get a headrest, but it gets a 3-pointed seat belt and headrest at the back. And you've got this small 12-volt socket as well, which we've discovered that this car has for charging multiple devices. There is surprisingly no pockets here, and the door pads are also quite thin. So is this small place here to keep some stuff, and keyless entry and go. And what I can also tell you is that you're already familiar with this dashboard and interior for a very long time now, and the only problem that is bugged us every single day while driving this car is the lack of space to keep the phone properly. You can keep it here, it starts charging, and there is very little space on offer. You've got the start stop button here, and this is something that is very impressive, is these seats, very comfortable, very big, and making sure that this is how the startup looks like. It's actually quite brilliant. And look at this, there's an OTA update that has come to the car, which has made sure
is low.
And check. This is how it warns you about the fuel level. This is how it will warn you about the driving modes.
Economy drive mode activated.
This can be switched off if you want.
City drive mode. Sport drive mode activated.
So yeah, there's this blue color, as you can see here, which is actually quite brilliant. The blue color has made it to the instrument cluster as well. This is the new update that makes things a little bit better, and you can see a lot of updates here. And as I press this view button here, the view changes. There is a bit of change in the graphics, but definitely the new and blue and purple color makes sure that you get something new, something refreshed. This is part of the OTA update. The AC is fantastic, it works really well. The only problem is that the door pads are also not big enough to keep some stuff, and most of it can be stored here, which is quite big, but then again it's not really that convenient to open the glove box again and again to store some material. The steering wheel is always great. The ergonomics continue to be a bit of a problem because the steering wheel at top position goes quite high, and when I sit in the lowest possible seat, this is something that is not really great. So what I do is keep the steering like this, but it sort of hampers with my view of what is on the instrument cluster. But this makes the driving position quite good. But then again, the driving position, the ergonomics of it is something that we've complained time and again that something needs to be fixed. Quality fit finish seems good enough, but of course there is some room for improvement because the top of the line variants can get a lot expensive nowadays. So yeah, that's that. Apart from that, everything. The infotainment system is downright brilliant. The sound system is good. Everything works really well. Touch response is good. Colors and graphics have been slightly altered to make things better. And yeah, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is here. 4 types of voice assistants are here, and all of this AQI monitoring and air filter is also available. So this is actually quite brilliant. You already know about it from time to time. The Express Cool button also, as you can see here, if you can see, yeah, that is the Express Cool button. That
Express cooling is on.
it says also how it's done. So
Express cooling off. Normal cooling mode on.
yeah, so there's a lot of information, and these lights are illuminated here, which is actually quite brilliant. So all in all, the interior is quite spacious, quite comfortable, but it isn't very convenient with the kind of internal storage spaces are truly lacking. Apart from that, this cabin is quite silent, and road noise and wind noise is also well in check. There's a bit of diesel clatter that comes inside. Apart from that, I think it's time to talk about what is it been like to drive, the tank to tank fuel efficiency is like, and the overall experience. How does it end? Sum up. Let's find out. So we are out driving the Tata Nexon diesel manual for a couple of months. As you know, this is a long-term review of this car, and what have I learned and understood while driving this car, because on the inside and outside I'm already done with. I've explained you everything. While driving, what I've realized is that there are 2 key aspects to this car: the engine as well, and the ride and handling, which includes the suspension and braking as well. So what is that I have learned from this car and understood also while driving this car is that one of the reasons why this is a very good car in this segment, it used to be like it's almost a benchmark in this segment because it has everything you can ask for at a fantastic price point. So how does it retain that value is because the engine, the diesel here, is quite well priced, and it delivers on that aspect. The diesel manual has returned us driving within Mumbai city, slightly outside Mumbai city, and on the outskirts and slightly rural areas of Mumbai city, then doing highway runs on the state highways and the Mumbai-Pune expressway. That one full month of driving this car in these multiple places, our tank to tank results for fuel efficiency was 18.5. So that is a very good number. You can not get more than 12 to 13 in a turbo petrol or in a petrol which is a naturally aspirated in this segment anywhere. So a diesel still available at that magical number of fuel efficiency of above 16-17 kilometers per liter. This can even do 19-20. Why? Because we've been driving it in Eco City and Sport mode. If you drive it in Eco mode all the time, it can deliver almost 20 kilometers to the liter in a mixed driving condition. I think that is fantastic. That is a very good number. That is far more superior than petrols even today. Of course, the bonkers level of fuel efficiency difference that was between petrol and diesel has also gone, because I expected cars like this to deliver 22-23 easily in those, and in a mixed driving position like we've gotten right now. But the highway, those numbers still exist, but in the highway efficiency runs, only the absolute highway runs have delivered almost 23-24 kilometers per liter, which is still a fantastic number to have, because you can still get almost 500 kilometers plus of tank range, and I think that is very, very good. You can get even more on the highway if you stick to under 100 kilometers per hour. We've been cruising at 120 and around those speeds, and if you cruise below 100, the numbers can go even higher, which I think is a very, very good number indeed. The long-term diesel efficiency is what I was looking forward to, and the Tata Nexon has almost delivered. So very happy to see that has happened. And because this diesel is much different than any other diesel that is there right now, because all of the diesel cars have this AdBlue requirement, which this car doesn't get. So I thought there might be some fuel efficiency drawbacks, but it doesn't have that much, which is actually quite brilliant to see that Tata has pulled out this magical number of fuel efficiency from this car. And what we've gotten, you can definitely get more than that, and I think that's a fantastic thing to have. Apart from that, in terms of refinement, it is far more better than the original car that it in terms of refinement it was. When the facelift came in, we were impressed, and we are impressed with it right now itself as well, because it doesn't disappoint. It's quite loud on the outside, but it doesn't reach that much on the inside. So that's already a win-win situation. In terms of road and wind noise also, it's well in check. So yeah, a lot of noise that creeps inside the cabin is only on really bad surfaces. Apart from that, it keeps noises in check, and the cabin as comfortable as possible. Right now I'm talking to you without any music or anything, so when I can talk to you this it shows that the refinement levels are well in check. Put it into 6th gear, the engine noises almost dramatically drop, and you can cruise very easily. Talking about 6th gear, the clutch bite could have been much more consistent. The gates could have been much more smoother to initiate in the gearbox. Every time you shift the gears, the gate feels a little bit not that smoothly defined, but it is it is defined but not smoothly defined. So that is something that Tata can still work on. The ergonomics I've told you about, the lowest seating position, steering wheel has to be lower so that I can get a great comfortable position, or else it just becomes a little bit over the top, or I might have to sit even higher, and anybody above 5'10" will find that a little bit discomforting like me. So I have to keep the steering wheel something like this. If I can show you, like this, I am comfortable like this, but this is far more comfortable. But then again, I lose the display on the car. So yeah, on the instrument cluster right there, quite easy to adjust the steering wheel on the go. What is really impressive, that is the second. This is one of the first parts, where it really impresses on the engine refinement, and it's not really great on ergonomics and a little bit of things here and there. The ride quality is absolutely amazing. We've gone through some horrible roads, proper off-road in places where there should have been tarmac, wasn't there, and this car just goes over them at 10-15 kilometers an hour so nicely, so smoothly, that it just impresses us. And then there is the highway stability, which is absolutely brilliant. So the ride quality and stability aspects just keeps you so comfortable all the time that you can forget everything else, and and you end up feeling like you're in a much bigger car. So that feeling that you get in the Nexon, you don't get anywhere else very easily. So along with a steering that is light and precise, has decent feedback, could have been better, but it's precise and it weighs up on the highway quite well. So in that regard, it isn't a problem. What I've also noticed is that even if with 140 kilometers of range, it will go into it will keep you warned about low fuel level, which I think is a little bit too much. I think around 100 kilometers or slightly lower than that would have been ideal, but I guess this is how Tata is chosen to set up this thing, and we don't know the reason yet, but we'll try and find out. Apart from that, it's been a great journey. I think this car's brake pad's a little bit short because it's a well abused, sort of like well run-in car. It's gone into multiple hands, and that's one of the reasons why it is something that is this specific car could have some issues with the brake. The initial bite, as you can see, is very good, but power could have been better. I know that the initial cars that we got had better brakes, so this is very specific to this car, very likely. I think that's what our long-term review is. We've told you that we've got great fuel efficiency, a spectacular number in terms of absolute mixed riding conditions. Those mixed riding conditions include everything. So trust me, when we say that number is very impressive, and you can even get more out of it if you're more patient. Driving under 100 kilometers an hour, you can get even more of the efficiency. So running the Nexon for a longer period has not been a problem whatsoever. We really enjoyed our time with this car, and I can't wait to spend more time with it. I will do that. I will write about it. If you still have some questions, put them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer it. Until then, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.